What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Funk. I am here with what will be a two-part series on how to choose a location for your business, and the second part being how to choose a location for expansion. What you will learn is a behind-the-scenes look at some of the considerations that have allowed myself and the company that I own, Rehab, to perform to be successful, as well as sharing with you a couple of the failures along the way. For this first part, I'm going to be sharing with you how I felt confident enough to open up the first office in Frederick, Maryland. Little bit of a backstory. The first business that I actually created was a company called Lax Factory. It was a lacrosse services company offering club teams, camps, clinics, and tournaments. Through this company, I developed a significant amount of connectivity and trust in one of the most important patient populations out there, which are parents. Through the parents, I developed trust, credibility, and a network of humans that would eventually make it easy for me to decide to have the first Rehab to Perform location in Frederick. A majority of these parents were from Frederick County. If we make the assumption that 280 kids in the club program all had two parents that were somewhere close by, that would be 560 individuals with their own respective networks that made it an easier decision for me to search for space in Frederick. Once I had chosen a location for our first office for Rehab to Perform, I was thinking about three things in particular: upfront cost, monthly cost, and circulation. One of the biggest expenses for a new business is the equipment needed to deliver your services. And from a physical therapy standpoint, we needed a lot of equipment that was a mix of an athletic training table style environment and a personal training studio or gym. This upfront expense is definitely burdensome with regards to a startup because you don't have a ton of money. So I wanted to put ourselves in a position where we could access a gym. We could utilize the equipment already there because we were in a corner of the gym, or we could access the equipment through a door by being in an adjacent office or suite. Then when it came to the monthly cost, I wanted to put us in a situation in which we did not have a financial burden where we were losing money a lot during those initial months, and then potentially for a long period of time. I wanted to have a monthly cost that I knew was achievable with regards to us achieving some level of profitability in a relatively short time frame. And then that third part, circulation, has to do with people accessing the facility itself and the area around it. So if I could put us in a position where we were inside a facility in which a lot of people were coming to and circulating, as well as a facility or building that a lot of people were familiar with and were interacting with companies and businesses outside of that particular site, then I knew that would be a home run for us. The first place that we found happened to be at Frederick Indoor Sports Center. It was a space in between two turf fields in which we had our own 1,200 square feet. We were able to leave that particular office to go utilize some gym equipment in which the personal training company at that facility had purchased and was allowing us to use. There were fields, there were camps, there were tournaments going on at each of the fields throughout the course of the year, and the building itself was in an area in which a lot of people were familiar with. There was a Wegmans close by, there was a lot of other schools, businesses. It was very, very close to a highway called Route 15, 70, and 270. So it was an area where from a circulation standpoint, it was easy for people to get to. In addition to the fact that for us, the cost that we were gonna have to pay on a monthly basis was relatively low, and based on our financial projections, was going to put us in a situation where we would achieve profitability in a relatively short manner. So when it came to upfront costs, we actually had very, very little. We needed a couch for our little waiting room area. We needed 2 treatment tables, a small front desk, some things associated with branding, but really not much more than that. The equipment had already been available to us, fortunately, with the relationship with Frederick Indoor Sports Center. When it came to monthly costs, we had a very, very low amount. It actually came in lower than our budget. It allowed us to get profitable relatively fast. And then when it came to circulation, this was a hub for adult and youth sports in this county, in the most populated city in the entire area of Frederick County, as well as being accessible less than a mile from 3 major roadways in an area from a commercial development standpoint where there were a lot of flagship chains and franchises in that area. So we hit all 3 with regards to the trifecta, and I think choosing our first location was so essential to us having that springboard to success as a young company.